Hey guys, it's Xanetta here and welcome to my channel. Today we are going to be doing a 100 line character tier list. But first, I just want to say thank you all for the positive reception on my 100 line review video. That was my first ever review video, so thank you all for the positive reception. But without further ado, let's get started. So in my tier list, I just want to keep it short. I want to keep it sweet. I just want to go bam 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 and move on to the next character because it's a tier list. What is there more to say? Just a disclaimer, there will be 100 line spoilers, but without further ado, let's get started. Takumi Sumino. Obviously, he is the main character of the story, but even though he is your average protagonist trope, the game does a good job with his development. I like that he's so stupid in an endearing way, and I really like how he loves sleeping. His combat's really OP if you beef him up, and let's not sugarcoat it, Takumi is cute. Live action Takumi also hot as hell. You best believe I'm gonna put him up S tier. Nozomi Kirifuji and aka Karua, I'ma group them together because y'all know they're the same person. She's your typical support character archetype, the only human in the SDU as well. She has this really sweet and caring personality. She's one of the main reasons why Takumi is fighting so hard to protect the school. I know a lot of you find her boring, but I disagree. Revealing her backstory and the complicated relationship with her mother and how that manifests as her Karua persona in Takumi's fabricated backstory is one of the reasons why the main story ties together. S tier, Darumi Amemiya. While at a glance she's introduced as this gimmick character that really loves killing games, there's more to her underneath the surface. And maybe I'm a little bit biased, but I related to her so much during the Red Snow round, and I have this unique analysis that I want to touch upon that I will cover in the future. S tier, Eito Aotsuki. Now this is where it gets interesting and where I might piss people off. I know Eito is very popular within this fandom, and honestly, in the demo, he was my absolute favorite, but that's just because I'm a sucker for nerdy glasses men. However, when the game got released and as the curtains unravel, my opinion started to change. I mean, can you blame me? He kinda psychotic. And I get that he has this mental defect that plays a huge part of his character, but something about the way he acts because of it reminds me of how my sister acts, so it's kinda triggering for me. But hey, that's just my personal bias coming in. Yes, my sister is that psychotic. I don't want to say victim mindset exactly, but how he's like, I hate humanity so much because I'm XYZ, so I'm just going to be this terrible person. And look, I get it, but one day you have to realize that you gotta pull yourself out of that or else nothing will change. I will give him A tier though, because he is a good antagonistic character that challenges the themes of the story. Tsubasa Kawana. While popular amongst the male fanbase, I understand why, especially playing the romance route. Not only is she a babe, in that route we got the most context why she's constantly puking, and I can't help but sympathize with her. Her overall arc wanting to overcome her anxieties to fight makes her an overall enjoyable character. A tier! Hiruko Shizuhara. The Ice Queen. Cold, attached, isolated from the rest, but because she isolates herself a lot, I feel like we hardly see her until SF route where she really shines. I like her intelligence and how much of a badass she is, but hot take, but girl got no range. Yes, she takes a lot of damage, but girl got no range. No offense to Hiroko sans, but I hardly use her in battles cause she got no range. A tier, Gaku Maruko. Honestly, I personally like Gaku. I think he's very misunderstood, and I get that he's portrayed as this pervert character that no one takes seriously and appears to only be looking out for himself at times, but is it just me? From his free time events, I can tell he is a very caring and hardworking person underneath all that. Maybe I need to change the fanbase's perspective with his own analysis, but I will rate him B tier because of how he's written as a joke character. Now give it up for Ima Tsukumo. Ima. Now do I really have to explain why this is everyone's favorite character? If you couldn't tell, I was being sarcastic. Controlling and manipulative, the ancestral love for his sister. I know he dials it down in some routes when he realizes that he's very wrong with how he shows care. Yeah, there's not much to say. D tier or F tier, honestly I could care less. But I love Kako, and she's the GOAT in battle and period queen for standing up to her brother. She's S tier. Now Shouma Ginzaki. Like Darumi, I have a soft spot for him because I could relate to what he's feeling. To have such low self-worth that you hold on to that because that's all you have to protect yourself. But obviously, he's written to have such a personified version of self-deprecation. But even though he puts himself down, he doesn't stop trying. S tier for Shouma. Yugamu Omakage. Yugamu took me by surprise during the killing game route because of how he helped Takumi, yet I find it compelling how he is the same very person that leads to Takumi's downfall in the cult of Takumi routes. I'ma put him S tier. Takemaru! What is this man's last name again? Takemaru Yakushiji. I find him as a cool character, but he's more in the middle ground for me. He could be fleshed out more. While it may not look like I have anything in common with this musclehead, I feel like in some moments of the game had me relating to him a bit when he expresses how strongly he feels about a particular situation. But yeah, I have to give him B tier though because there's not enough of him. Kurara Oosuzuki. Yeah, her personality and inflated sense of ego makes her not likable for me. I get that she's this pretentious heir to a military family and she does have some humility, but honestly it's not my thing. I do like her character design though. Like, whose idea was to think of a tomato head? C tier. Kiyoshika Magadori. While she's funny and very Toonie-like, I don't think I know much about her besides how she really F's with that sword. That's literally her whole personality though. She shines in the romance route and maybe a little bit in the zombie route, but overall she's not really fleshed out compared to the rest. D tier. Moko Mojiro. While she's funny and enjoyable, she could also be fleshed out more. I don't know, she's mostly gone in a lot of them as she sacrifices herself a lot. B tier. Undying Flames boy Shion. I'm just going to come out and say it. S tier all the way. Just playing the coming of age route and his consistent character arc of wanting to belong but choosing what's right makes his character enjoyable for me. Now let's move on to the Paragon of Nature, Eva. She actually has one of the best character arcs in the whole game when she's not under lobotomy. I'ma put her A tier because of that. Now let's move on to the mascots. Sirei. I say he's very similar to Ima in the sense of controlling, how he takes drastic measures in order to get the students to fight. Yet he's such a complex, morally great character. He's not necessarily evil, but he's not necessarily a good person? Ghost? His blind loyalty to humanity is the very reason why the Special Defense Unit turns on him. I'm going to say he belongs in S tier in terms of character, but D tier in terms of personality. Nigou. I don't have much to say about Nigou, but he dumb. C tier. Now let's move on to the 100-line villains. Let's start off with Veshness. Obviously, she's a very stereotypical power-trippy villain. Although it's very ambiguous, I have a theory of how she turned out to be this way as the Paragon of Hope that might be very compelling, but that's for a separate video. I'ma give her B tier. And let's move on to the commanders. I can't tell them apart for the life of me, so I'm not even gonna bother rating them one by one. Out of all of them, I feel like we mainly got the most characterization from Adamakyu, aka the very angry one. So I'm gonna put Adamakyu C and the rest D. But let's talk about Kamyun. She's Eva's daughter, and it was a surprise to see her make an appearance. I wish she was more in the story, but knowing how there might be future DLCs, maybe we will see more of her. I'm gonna give her B tier. Now it looks like they have the masked individuals as a character here for the tier list. We all know that it's Takumi and Hiruko during the SF route, or Evil Kakuji, or Eito. Let's not forget about Eito from the Killing Game route when he comes back to life. So I'm just gonna put them A tier. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Who are your favorite characters in the game? Do you agree or disagree? I feel like I was a little bit too generous, but let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe, as I plan to do more 100-line analysis in the future.